Okay, let's start. So let's just sit in our meditation posture. If your feet are down on the floor, as usual, parallel position, or with a little cushion underneath. Other than that, if you are sitting in your cross-legged position, a couple of cushions under the knees. If you have tight hips or tight knees, and a cushion under your sacrum. And this is just to help straighten not the sacrum, your sit bones. This helps to straighten the sacrum, and make sure your pelvic bowl is upright, not tipping too far back, too far forward. Shoulders are over the hips, and the ears are in line with the shoulders. Hands in the meditation mudra. Good evening, Mudra. Imagine your spine is a string of pearls of light stretching from the base of the spine all the way up through the crown of the head, and somebody is maybe behind you, very gently lengthening the spine. And so all the stress and the busyness of today, just let it melt away as your spine very gently lengthens. Put some space in between those vertebrae, in those discs. And your head is slightly tipped forward, the eyes are down, looking along the lengths of the nose, tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth, and relax the jaw. And just take your attention to the crown of the head, relax the scalp, the forehead, the eyes, the back of the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, the mouth, and the jaw. Bring your attention to the back of the scalp, back of the head. Relax your scalp, and just notice what muscles in your face are now releasing. And your ears, your temples. And bring your attention to the back of the neck and the shoulders. And if you have any tension in the upper thoracic area of your spine, your back, just relax your spine. Just try and release any tension there. And relax the throat and the chest and the belly, arms and hands and fingers, the legs and the feet and the toes. And just bring the mind to the breath, very gently breathing in. Notice the sensation of the cool air as you're breathing in, slightly warmer air as you're breathing out. If there's any sounds in your environment, just allow those sounds to be there. Try not to run off and investigate with the mind. And as your thoughts are arising, allow them. Try not to engage. They'll just arise, abide for a moment, and then dissolve. And more thoughts will replace. Just allow the thoughts to come and go. Try not to judge what you're thinking or get carried off on a tangent. Just bring the mind back to the breath. Just very gently breathing in and breathing out. And welcome, Victor. So bring to mind all the people of your life, the ones you love, the ones who support you, who are kind, who think you're funny, laugh at your jokes. make you happy. You make them happy. And the ones that you don't quite have that same easy relationship with, perhaps it's awkward or uncomfortable. Maybe you irritate them, maybe they irritate you, maybe they've harmed you. We probably would label these people as enemy, or someone we wouldn't maybe want to invite into our home. And then there's the strangers, the ones we don't really remember their name or take terribly much notice of. And we think just to remember that they're all the same in their wish to be happy. They wish to avoid suffering. And they have this incredible capacity. Everyone equally has this innate capacity for brilliance. This pure, clear mind, this enlightened mind. So I think we'll be doing this Vajrasattva meditation tonight for all the people in our life, for ourselves as we make our way along our path. So the power of regret, the first opponent power. So just bring to mind maybe something that happened today. Maybe it was something very small. And perhaps as we're all becoming more aware through this practice, becoming more aware of our actions of our body and speech and our mind during our day and in our interactions with others, you might notice that there's some changes to your habitual ways of being. Perhaps you are refraining a little bit more. So then things become a little bit more subtle. So just notice. Did you raise your voice at someone today? Were you a little bit sarcastic? Sarcastic in a way not to be funny, but to maybe harm. Did you accidentally kill something? An insect? Perhaps you felt too busy to talk to somebody that needed you to speak to them. So just try and bring to mind a sense of regret. And regret is taking responsibility. It's not guilt. And the reason we regret is based on the logic of karma. We experience everything due to our past karma. We understand what suffering is. It's the result of negative actions. Given that we understand that we don't really like suffering, we don't want to invite any more into our life. So logically, we want to pull out these negative seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. And think, I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken any vows, because I do not want the future suffering. And then we regret our delusions, the anger, the attachment, the grasping, the neediness, which are the cause of why we harm others. So whom can I turn to? What can I do about it? And here we come to the power of reliance. And it has two sections, and the first of this is refuge. So we rely upon, we turn to the Buddha, the doctor who has the methods that we can use to purify. And we're not asking Buddha to forgive us. We purify ourselves by relying upon his methods. So imagine Guru Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. And also imagine this is your guru, your lama, your trusted mentor, however you see them, the person who has inspired your mind to the Dharma. Maybe this person has inspired you to be a better person, to try harder. So it's just this person manifesting in this Vajrasattva aspect for your benefit. It makes it more personal, it brings it home. So he's made of radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus. There's this radiant, beautiful, youthful face, lotus-like eyes, And they're peaceful and full of love and compassion for you, all the people of your life, and by extension, all living beings. He has no judgment towards you. No criticism about you. Just accepts you exactly as you are, meets you where you're at. So kind. He has this beautiful sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot, and has this 5-pointed crown encrusted with jewels. He's wearing these beautiful robes, silken robes in the Royal Indian style. You can imagine they're just kind of floating there. All this is translucent light, this energy above the crown of your head. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom. The right is holding a Vajra, which represents indestructibility of compassion. Their being crossed represents the union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So the second section is about developing compassion. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings. So the very beings we have harmed, so bring to mind any of those, develop compassion for them, and the beings who have harmed us. And we have compassion for those beings particularly because they are going to experience suffering in the future for the harm that they've caused you. So you have compassion for that. And make a strong aspiration to do this practice for their sake. So the next is the power of the remedy, and this is the actual medicine, doing the practice, reciting the mantra. So the first is the purification of the body. And Guru Vajrasattva, imagine, very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose very forcefully, pouring into us from his heart. It arcs around and enters your crown, filling your entire body. And it keeps pouring into you and forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to anyone with your body. And it leaves your body in this form of this inky black liquid, and that disappears into space, not one atom left. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Stawasidi Mebe Yatsa Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sidam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think that there's no way you could do anything but be of benefit now to others with your body. So the next is the purification of the speech. And again, Guru Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and quite forcefully again enters your crown, filling your entire body, this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, which overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So imagine all the gossip, the harsh speech, and the lying and talking badly about others behind their back and having others agree with you. All this is purified by the powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Again, so feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine that it's not possible to do anything other than be of benefit now to others with your speech. So as soon as they hear your sweet voice, immediately their mind is pacified and they feel benefit just from hearing you. So the next is a purification of the mind, and this time Guru Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters into you through your crown again. The light fills you. So just in the same way as when you walk into a room, a dark room, and you switch on the light. The moment the light is switched on, it instantly dispels the darkness in the room. So in the same way, the moment the light from Guru Vajrasattva's heart enters you and hits your heart chakra, all the energy, all the negativity, the darkness of the negativity of your mind is instantly dispelled by this light. So all the attachment and neediness and anger and violence and depression, resentment, bitterness, jealousy, grudges, anxiety, all of this totally dispelled as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawakama Sita Me Siddham Shriyam Karuhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Siddham Shriyam Karuhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Siddham Shriyam Karuhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Siddham Shriyam Karuhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Siddham Shriyam Karuhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Siddham Shriyam Karuhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Siddham Shriyam Karuhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are totally purified and gone. And think that now there is no space in your heart for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. And so next is the purification of the imprints of negativity of the body, speech and mind. And imagine Guru Vajrasattva again very compassionately sending light and nectar, or you can imagine the previous 3 visualizations of the body, speech and mind that we've just done, flowing into you, filling you. And the moment this light and this nectar touches your heart, it completely eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Siddham Shriyam Karuhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Siddham Shriyam Karuhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Saba Kamasita Me Sudam Shriyam Kuruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supakaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me Sudam Shriyam Kuruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supakaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me Sudam Shriyam Kuruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supakaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me Sudam Shriyam Kuruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supakaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me Sudam Shriyam Kuruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Now feel completely purified, not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to omniscience have been removed. And the fourth step here is resolve. So we make a determination to try to not to harm with our body and our speech and our mind again. Our mind is basically harming ourselves, all this negative self-talk we have. So if this is something that you find you do frequently, it's almost like telling yourself off all the time. Maybe you want to just refrain from that for a little bit. Give yourself a break. And maybe something else instead. Something positive. Praise yourself. Catch yourself when you're being negative towards yourself. Try and catch it. And then change it into something else. Because how can you be kind to others and you can't really even be kind to yourself? So maybe just say, okay, for 5 seconds, or for 30 seconds, or for an hour, I'm going to be aware of what thoughts I'm thinking. And how often am I negative towards myself? I'm going to try and stop it. So we change our habits. And maybe it's something else that you do, some other habit that you have. Just try and refrain. So we'll make a determination to ourselves. Something that we can keep, a timeline that works for us, whether it's 5 seconds or 30 seconds or a day. So it's just something for us to work on. And this gives us courage, because you may have already started to notice things are changing in your life, perhaps. So Guru Vajrasattva is delighted with us, and wanting to merge with your mind, melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. You think, my Guru's body, speech and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech and mind, my own body, speech and mind are the same thing. And LAMA YESHE used to call this union oneness. And so next Lama Rinpoche recommends to meditate on the emptiness of the 3 circles. In emptiness there is no I, the creative negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So place your mind in that emptiness for a little while. For at whatever level you understand it, think of all phenomena as being empty and not existing from its own side. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created this evening by doing this purification, making the effort to come onto the Zoom, taking this half hour for yourself. So really rejoice in the work that you've done this evening. It was amazing. We've done quite a lot in a very short space of time. So really feel happy. You can go to bed now with a happy mind. And you've done this purification for all living beings, for yourself. So may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And long life prayer for His Holiness, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. For Lama Zopa Rinpoche, you who uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving and spreading Manjana's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplishes magnificent prayers honouring the three jewels, savour of myself and others your disciples, please live long. For Lama Ursel, Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us and intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request. O Lama, please live long. And for Geshe Sherab, beloved teacher, leading your students toward wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path, you are the unequaled guide. Please live a long and stable life. There we go. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. I love doing this practice with you all. And I look forward to seeing you next week. So, all the best.